Hello guys, welcome to my channel once again. Now we are going to discuss a topic called combustion chambers. In this we are going to start with an introduction. Heat addition by combustion is conceived as a part of working Brayton cycle. In this process, energy is put into the system by burning fuel in a flowing gas. In aircraft gas turbine engines, the airflow through the engine is at high average speed up to 100 meters per second, which requires high combustion intensity, that is, heat release rate per unit volume per unit time. Also, in aircraft power plant, size of the engine being limited, the space available for combustion process is also limited. Thus, combustion is to be performed within a very small volume at short time, that is, airflow residence time, giving out high amount of heat. The combustion intensities of some heat engine combustion process are as compared. Boiler furnace, it will give you 4 into 10 power 5 to 10 power 6 kilojoules per meter cube hour, or 1 into 10 power 2 to 10 power 3 kilowatts per meter cube. Piston engine will also provide 25 to 125 into 10 power 5 to 10 power 6 kilojoules per meter cube per hour. Jet engines will provide 75 to 150 into 10 power 5 to 10 power 6 kilojoules per meter cube hour. Similarly, rocket engine can provide up to 260 into 10 power 5 to 10 power 6 kilojoules per meter cube hour. The condition at the burner inlet is determined by the outlet operation conditions of compressor. This may keep varying with varying flight regimes. On the other hand, the outlet conditions is governed by turbine design operating limits and is generally required to be uniform and stable. Hence, combustion chamber is expected to be stable source of hot gas. That means even if its inlet conditions are variable, it is expected to deliver comparatively steady and uniform flow to the turbine. Job of the combustor: to raise temperature of air to highest level conforming to cycle design. This is intended to achieve maximum work extracted per kg of air flowing through the turbine. This must be done with minimum loss of pressure. The hot gases must be delivered at uniform pressure and temperature within material limitations of turbine. The hot gas generation must be stable during engine acceleration and deceleration, that is, flame should not be extinguished or pulsations should not be set up or amplified by combustion chamber. Ignition should be rapid, reliable, and sustainable. It should occupy minimum space. It should burn a range of fuels. So here we can see a can type combustion chamber where we are going to use a can type system where we'll be having primary zone and dilution zone. So in primary zone we are going to mix 20% of air with the fuel, and in dilution zone we are going to add remaining amount of air so that we can make the combustion process to work complete. Then we will be having cannular type combustion chamber. Here we are going to use a series of cans arranged in a cylindrical pattern, one by one adjacent to each other, and we are going to repeat the same process of this can combustion chamber systems in each can, and we are going to streamline all these exhaust gases to the turbine. Then we'll be having annular combustion chamber. Here we are going to use a cylindrical type of combustion chamber where we'll be using a cylindrical section in which we are going to spray the fuels and we are going to combust the gases. So here you can see a cross section of this cylindrical combustion chamber. This one we are naming it as annular combustion chamber. Then we are going to see combustion model for gas turbine combustor. So here initially the fuel will be sprayed into the highly compressed gas, and then this fuel will get evaporated in a primary zone, and then ignition process will start. Once ignition starts, the flaming zone will automatically develop and they will provide you higher amount of temperature or add higher amount of temperatures to the gases. Then if we move with step by step procedure of this combustion, initially it will spray with fuel will be sprayed with injector, and then automation, then it will follow with evaporation, then mixing with air, then again it will start with ignition. Then heat will be released because of this evaporated fuel molecules into the compressed gases, mixing of combustion products, and finally delivery to turbine. Here we can see a flow chart of combustion chamber where air supply and liquid fuel supply will be injected into the injection of fuel in the moving air. Then we'll be, with the help of automation, we'll be going with evaporation and droplet collisions. Then these will be guided to turbulent or diffuser mixing, and this evaporation gases phase reaction will be taken to the turbulent diffuser and mixing. Then from this turbulent diffuser mixing section, we will be having droplet burning, recirculation of reduction products, and then we will be having gas phase intermediate reaction products. Then we will be going to final combustion products. The flame moves in the direction of air flow inside the combustion chamber at a characteristic speeds known as flame speeds. The flame is sustained in flame zone, at the end of which most of fuel is burned. Outside the flame zone, the combusted gas moves towards the combustor exit. The process of evaporation of droplets and mixing of fuel and air can occur partly aided by local turbulent vortices artificially created around the spray zone, and partly by diffusion of liquid vapor into the air. At the point of ignition, all the droplets may not have been evaporated and mixed. Hence, some of them may burn as liquid droplets in surrounding air. Both process of burning follow approximately the same of chemical reactions as per the reaction kinetics. The combustion process for the whole amount of injected fuel may not be completed at the end of flame zone, which creates the intermediate reaction products as more air is mixed to bring down the temperature. In some places, the reaction of combustion may be going on, while in the some other places the reaction proceeds for the final combustion products. Thus, a combustion chamber, it is necessary to provide sufficient space for all of these steps to be completed, as the resident period of air in the chamber is a small fraction of second. Matching the physical steps with the reaction kinetics is crucial to efficient combustion process. The above 2200 degrees centigrade air may be dissociated locally. With this slide, we'll be winding up the video. If you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe.